Hi, I'm Tim from Bonsai Bar. Today we're here to talk to you a little bit about wiring your bonsai tree. Wiring in bonsai is often referred to as the paintbrush of bonsai because it lets us get those fine details of really getting our tree on the path to looking like an ancient tree in miniature. So we're gonna talk today a little bit about both the aesthetics and the functionality of wiring. We want our wire to look good because bonsai is above all an aesthetic pursuit. So we want to have wire that fades into the background of the branches and doesn't distract from the beauty of your tree. But at the same time, we also need that wire to be functional so that you can move your branches to exactly where you want them, giving them shape and movement. Over time, as they grow in that new position and put on vascular tissue, you can eventually remove the wire and the branch will look as if it had always grown in that position. So I'll demonstrate here on a branch how we're gonna be wiring this. When you come out the wire from the base of the branch, I'm gonna be trying to go around at a 45-degree angle when you hit the branch, making sure that you don't have any gaps, moving your hands up to hold the wire tight to the branch as you move, keeping that tight to the branch, keeping that 45-degree angle consistent out to the very tip. The wire kind of fades into the branch, making it harder to see. It's also the most functional. The 45-degree angle allows us to make big bends and movements into the branch, creating all sorts of different shapes and movement to our tree. The first thing I do before I'm gonna apply wire to this is I need to get some of these extra branches out of the way. First, what I'm gonna do is get rid of this bar branch in the bottom. I have a great first defining branch over here. So I'm gonna get this one that goes out the other side so that I can use this as my second branch. It's gonna be a little bit further up, giving that the space here. So what I'll be doing is wiring these two branches together. You always wanna have pair up branches if possible so you can get a really good anchor point onto the trunk to help you hold the bend as you're changing the angle of the shoulder of your branch here. So I'm gonna actually wire this branch up to this second branch that I have. I'll start by putting this just onto the beginning of this larger branch here, and then I will work it up the trunk so it makes contact and comes out the shoulder of the second branch. Come back to this section, working out this branch, trying to maintain contact with the branch at all points so you have no gaps between the wire and your branching. Also trying to maintain that 45-degree angle as we go across the branch here. Often will take extra leaves that are in the way out so that my wire can lay flat and snug against the branch there. This is a thicker gauge of wire I'm using here because these are some of the thicker branches on the tree. If you put on the too small of a gauge of wire, it's not gonna be able to hold that branch in the position that you want, so it's not gonna serve the function that you need. I've got the wire out this branch here. Now I'm gonna show you how I take to bend this. So often I'll start at the shoulder here, and I'll hold the wire against the shoulder, and I feel this first bend. Really kind of listen and watch the branch, see if I see any cracks starting in that. Listen for the first little crackles you can hear. It's often like a celery with a Portulacara afra dwarf jade here. You can hear like little celery cracks in the vascular tissue. It's not a problem to start hearing those cracks. It's just telling you you're getting close to the point where you're gonna start breaking that a little bit more. So I've got that angle coming down a little bit further here, and I work my way out from the shoulder as I achieve the angles and movement that I want on the tree. You can also rotate the branch using the wire that you've placed on there. Remember to always follow the rotation that the wire takes around the branch. So if you rotate the branch in that direction, you're gonna be tightening the wire, which makes it function more, as opposed to if you go against the rotation of the wire, you're gonna be loosening the wire, which means it will function less and hold your branch less. So you can take branches that would be sticking up or down and bringing them flat into that same plane so you can start forming those pads that we really want to have in our tree here. And I always, when I finish my branches, try to make sure that the tip of the branch is pointing back up. So the tips of your branches, the new growing tips, are always going to be phototropic, meaning moving towards the light. And having that tip of your branch stick up is going to increase the vigor of this branch because these leaves at the end here will be getting more sunlight. So it's going to give more strength to your branch as you move through here. So once I've set the initial structure and movement that I want, I can come back and kind of hone in places that I want to achieve a little bit more bend, adding a little bit more kind of a natural bend. Add just a little bit more funk and natural changes to that. It's gonna make your tree look a lot more natural and set. Yeah, I really like that. So this is a great defining branch, the first biggest branch on the tree. The rest of the design of this entire tree is all gonna be coming off of kind of mirroring this feel that we've achieved with this first branch through the rest of the tree there. So got that all set up. Now I'm gonna look at the second branch here. So this branch isn't as big as the one that I cut off, and certainly not as big as our defining branch, but once I place it and give it its own space and light here, it'll have a lot of time to grow up and kind of catch up with this one at least a little bit more to be the size branch that we want over here. So I'm gonna give it a little more space by bringing it down into its own plane here. And as my wire's a little short, I'm gonna have to put some lighter gauge wire to finish out all the way to the ends of the tips here and bring that into that direction. But that's a great start for the tree right there. So I'm actually gonna use this lighter wire and actually use it to wire a branch on the back here that doesn't need this thicker gauge. So I'm gonna run it out that thicker gauge wire. It works as a great kind of backbone to hold this wire in place. Wire out the smaller back branch. It's really great to make sure that you have a 3D look to your tree. It doesn't look like it's just two-dimensional, all of your branches to the left and the right. Have your branches coming out, or branches in the back there kind of filling out your silhouette and giving you a nice full composition. Boom, nailed the back branch here too, looking good. Get these last two branches wired. So that really sets the tone for the rest of the tree. I always encourage people to wire your defining branch first, set the structure on that, because it really lets you understand the overall design of the tree, and then having the rest of the branches kind of mirroring that look and feel of the tree gives your design an overall sense of unity. So it's really important to start with a nice defining branch, really set the structure on that, then move on to wiring the rest of the tree. Thanks for watching this video on how to wire your bonsai trees. Hopefully it helps you step up the game and get your bonsai trees bonsai'd.